Hi, this is Giancarlo Cianelli here to explain assignment 2, Messenger for distributed systems. So we start off with the code by importing sys and socket right up top, and then the code. Oh, I do that twice. That's fun. That's good to detect during the video preview. But I also check the length of the arguments, and if the first or the technically starting 0 and then 1, if the argument is -L, it will start up the server code function, and if it's not, it will start up the client code. So the server code and the client code are similar and different in a lot of ways, but for the most part they run along the same lines. So they both create a communicator object, which is this top section here, and they bind it to any available interface, which is also different from the server code to the client code. The server socket then listens for a connection and then accepts it. They read a message from the standard input going through this for loop here. They send the messages that are found, but then are also receiving messages that are being taken in from the server code and then also connecting to the client code. They then print that out to fulfill the assignment requirements. So the sock.shutdown closes it, but it also keeps it open enough to receive messages. I found this on the Python documentation, and eventually it will close it out completely once the client code is done sending all of its content. The reason I do this is because the client text document that is provided for the assignment and the server text document have different amounts of lines in them. So the client actually has more than the server code, so the server is going to have to wait until the client's done before fully shutting down the connection. The client code works almost exactly the same, but a little bit different. So they create the same thing. They create the communicator object, and then they also decode it so that it reads the message from the standard input and prints that immediately. Just because that will detect the server code first. The for loop goes through the standard in, and it does the same thing as the server code, and it sends messages that it reads, and it also receives messages that are printed that are taken from the server. This print here does the same thing as the server code, and it just fulfills the requirement for the assignment. The sock.close completely closes the connection. So that's my code for assignment 2 in the Messenger app.